Guys, I see you guys over there. I just wanted to go to my sheep really quick. Apparently I'm not allowed to do so. Yeah, but everyone, welcome to another episode of Minecraft Chunklock. This is the third episode in this series, and apparently the neighbors are encroaching me. They didn't really like me getting my potatoes and carrots from them. Well, guess I have to deal with that. I guess I'll just leave the area really quick and see if they despawn behind me. But yeah, I want to start off the episode by telling you guys what I'm planning to do. First of all, I want to make another series of chunk unlocks, because that's something that I want to make like my routine for the episodes here. I always want to start with unlocking some chunks, and then I might be getting into some building, and yeah, that's also what I want to tackle today, starting with some building here. But yeah, before that, a little bit of chunk unlocks. And while I'm doing that, I gradually will make some commentaries within the gameplay, just to get you up to date on why I'm doing this, and what's the plan for the series is. Okay, so these guys actually despawned, that's good. I need to access the sheep here, because there is one chunk over there somewhere that actually needs a huge amount of blue banners. So many blue banners, in fact, that I don't have all the lapis to directly color the wool, so that's why I did color one sheep, and I'm gradually harvesting the wool there to get this chunk down at some point. But yeah, I'm currently mostly planning on harvesting some resources and then going over to opening them some chunks. And if you're wondering why, I'll get to that in a minute. Boys! What is going on today? It's just... I'm recording for just 20 minutes now, and this is the second pillager patrol here. Wow. Okay. So I actually wanted to tell you guys I'm heading out to the north to open up the row of chunks that you see here. And while doing that, I want to tell you guys a little bit about why I'm doing this right now at the start of the episode. And I think I am in a little bit of a bad spot here. Yeah, need to get down here to climb up. Okay, so I want to make it a habit in this series that I do some chunk unlocks in every single episode. I mean, come on guys, it's called Chunklock. I really need to do some unlocks here each episode. And while I'm doing that, I want to do it at the start of each episode as the first part, or do them, at least let's do the major work in chunk unlocks at the start of each episode. Because, that has a reason that has to do with how I want to make my videos and how I want to edit the videos. You see, I normally really like my flashback mod, I really like my time lapses. And yeah, so flashback is just a tool that lets you record here. I can, for example, go here and start the recording, and then I can do some various stuff, like giving you another viewpoint. Hello over there. Yes, I see you, and there is a sheep walking right through the camera right now. Nice one. Yeah, and this sort of stuff I really like doing. However, if you want to position your camera with flashback, of course you have some kind of a freecam tool. And while I personally don't see that as a problem, normally in like a regular Minecraft world, to have a little bit of free cam just to position your camera, that's totally fine normally. But yeah, let's just say I'm looking down here into this part, and I didn't know that this part existed before. I could spot that with flashback alone, with the free cam feature. And yeah, so I want to give myself a bigger playing zone. And I want to make sure that everything that I could potentially see with flashback when I position my camera. So let's say I want to have my camera right over there, for example, maybe a little bit up, and then the camera might catch a good amount of the area behind me. So I want to make sure that I have a good idea on how the world around me looks like before I actually start using the flashback mod. That's also the reason why I didn't use the flashback in the first episodes. Yeah, so because I had a little bit of a feeling that I might spot some things or some landscapes that I didn't really know about. I mean, in the first episode, if I didn't spot the village right away during the recording of the episode, I might have spotted that village over there with flashback. And these kind of things I don't really want to get. I don't want to get an advantage. I want to explore this world as I'm playing here within the game. I don't want to explore the world by flying above my head in a recording. So yeah, that's why I didn't use that much flashback. And I kind of want to start right now because I think flashback is a really nice tool to give you guys a better overview when I'm maybe building a little bit of a roadwork over here. And yeah, by giving myself a lot of space beforehand and also by expanding the space at the start of each episode, I make sure that I have the good knowledge of the surroundings here while I'm setting up the flashback cameras for the later shots, whatever I want to build in the area that I have newly acquired. So yeah, that's the reason why I want to start each episode by doing a good chunk, literally speaking, of chunk unlocks. And yes, that was the one that I was looking for. I need 24 blue banners, so that's a total of 24 times 6, roughly 150 blue wool. Yeah, that's a lot over there. That's an amount of stuff that I don't really know in which time I can acquire that. But yeah, that's also the reason why I'm mostly focusing on the northern side for now. I guess I'll get back to that. And yeah, let's see which chunks I also can do. That's 11 wool. I guess I have to make a marker here. So yeah, same thing as before. I just note down what I am needing or what is necessary to unlock all these chunks here. I'll just put everything of that in the chat, and after that I will gather all the resources and make another trip around the border here just to open everything up and see what kind of resources are next after that. And by that I can gradually, yeah, increase the size of my playing field here. But yeah, we are getting already into the annoying mountains. I think that was gunpowder, and gunpowder might be tricky right now. Yeah, I'll leave that out because I don't think that I have 26 gunpowder here. Another pork chop one. That one is also not really nice. Acacia fence, yep. And some dirt. some porky. I think that might drain me of my remaining dirt resources. I don't really know, but it could get close. Well, let's see what we can do. Okay. Looks like we got a connection over here and we don't need to run around this, yeah, pit here anymore. Nice, very nice. I don't really know how many layers we have left on the northern side. Doesn't look like it's too much. But I think in this direction it's more. Yeah. We are coming along, but the thing is, I don't really know how much longer I can keep it up in terms of dirt. Because actually the dirt prices currently are killing me. Was like 2.5 stacks just for this row here. And I think it was like... Ooh, I heard a skeleton there. Oh, I think these are... Yeah. I've heard mobs many times here. I think there should be like caves on them under there. Don't think it's here. I maybe can do some cave exploring at some point. However, I would like to get a better armor set for that one. And actually that could be one more thing that I'm doing in this episode. Okay, why not? Let's go to the starter house and let's see what we have here in terms of goals for this episode. Okay, so we have here our goal list. Let's make another page at the end for episode 3. So one thing I wanted to do in terms of building is I want to improve entrance to mine. That over there. I want to make a little bit of an improvement here in terms of the terrain. I maybe want to pull back the hill here and make a vertical transition there and make a artificial wall there, and within that wall then the entrance will be. That was my idea, and that wall should also have a staircase up so that you can walk over a staircase down there. Then you have a small spot here and then you can go over to the house. That is one thing that I want to do. Oh yeah, while we're planning, totally not getting distracted, I need to quickly fetch my shears and make sure that the blue sheep up there is constantly producing. Snip, snip. Okay, so first things first, I want to make this one here. I also would like to make something similar up here. Maybe pull these walls a little bit back and get something in here so that I can get a little bit more flat space here to make the fields here bigger. That would be an idea. So that would be the second one. I don't know if I do this right in this episode. Well, maybe it's a good idea to make the second terrace actually, because that might be a good way to lead a path over there. Yeah, I think that could actually be something. Yeah, so improve entrance to mine, start roadway to village, and what I also want to do is get diamond armor plus enchanted shield. So yeah, that's the rough idea that I have in my mind for today, and it's a lot of work to do here, especially if you consider here the work that I need to do for this part over here. And I also need to gather a lot of resources, especially here. I need a lot of wheat, because that's something that I have in my mind. I want to not use stone to make the walls here, but I would like to use mud bricks. I really like the color. You see, we are in a savanna biome, so the grass is tending to get a little bit brownish, and also the leaves here and the tall grass and everything, it kind of gets a little bit of a brown hue in it, and that's why I also want to, yeah, not play with the color contrasts that I would use, well, that I use some gray bricks here, but I also want to use the brown bricks, and the brown bricks are the packed mud bricks. So I need some packed mud, that's why I need the wheat. And I also need some mud. That's rather easy to get. I mean, we have enough dirt here in the terrain. I will need to do some terraforming, of course. But yeah, I think I will look for one more row of chunks over there. And then I might get over to the village and see what I can prepare. I mean, I need at least one of my librarians on the level to trade some glass. That could be interesting. So I need the glass for some bottles to, yeah, make mud. That's one thing to look after. But yeah, for now I think the next course of action will be one more row of chunks. Then I look over there, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I have something to show again. Are you guys serious? Just to notice, this was around about 1 hour after the last time I got some pillagers here. So this is the third. I'm recording literally for 1 hour 20 minutes. And this is the third pillager patrol that I have here. They are really out for my head here. Ooh. I guess I really need that diamond armor. Yeah. Oh, wandering trader. He does have ice, and we have spruce saplings. Aye. Really, really nice, I guess. I'll need to make a beeline for the village right now. I need at least 5 emeralds, better 20. Okay. So there we are. 4 spruce saplings. I thought about maybe using the packed ice. We don't really have a method to get ice right now, so that would be a possibility to get some of that, but I think we are fine right now. Oh, actually, just to be sure, let's just make them. Why not? It might actually help. Okay, so there we go. Chestplate, helmet, boots and leggings. For now, we don't have the enchantments ready. I do have the books for the enchantments, yes, but I've calculated it with the current villager traits that we have down there. It costs about 4.5 stacks of emeralds. So that's something that I don't want to do right now, but I think we can wear the armor already, and the copper armor will go here. The iron armor was just a temporary substitute. I was hoping that I get a full iron armor while I'm upgrading, but I didn't get that. That's why I just went directly to diamonds. Yes. So, as I said, we need round about 4.5 stacks of emeralds. Just for the books. I think I will do mending first, so that the stuff doesn't break anymore. So yeah, let's continue the grind. Haha, would you look at that? I was just about to go home to my starter area, take some stuff with me of course, and I was like, yeah, maybe let's get one more mending book here, because the shield also needs some mending if I want to keep it. And yeah, then this trait popped up, and I had enough books here to move along, and now I can also buy some glass here, which is very good, to make some mud. So I can use this glass to make bottles without smelting some sand. That's really convenient. And yeah, that's another resource unlocked that I wanted to have. And I didn't really think about getting it that early. I thought about, yeah, maybe it will take maybe until the next episode. But yeah, I got it now, rather at the start of episode 3. That's really nice. And yeah, now I'm heading over back to my home, because there we have an anvil. I mean, I also got some iron ingots with me. That's okay. But for now, we have full diamond armor, and we will make a grindstone there, so that we have an anvil and a grindstone over there, so then we can start making some enchantments. I don't have really everything that we need here for the armor. I have a full set of mending, 4 mending books, and I have 3 protection 4 books. I think I will get everything protted up, maybe besides the helmet. Unbreaking I don't really have right now, but I think for now it's okay to skip the unbreaking. I just spent about 1.5 hours over there gathering emeralds, chopping trees, etc, etc, and I really want to also be able to get to another point. This 1DT is still the one that was here before, okay. Would have surprised me if it was another one. So, grindstone up here. Okay, this is now unenchanted stuff. So, let's go for protection 4. Mending. Protection 4. Mending. Prot 4. Mending. Mending on the helmet. Mending on the shield. At least that. Yeah, that should give me a good amount of protection right now. Yo, buddy! Okay, okay, I guess we got it. That looks good. For now, I'll just think I'll finish the first recording session with shearing more sheep, and I think in the next recording session we can start making some actual building progress in this world. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it, but actually I also want to build something here. So yeah, I'll head it over to the tiger from the second recording, and yeah, see you then. Oh man, I've been playing for a lot here. My recording says it's about 2.5 hours, a little bit more, that I've played for in this session. And I've got everything recorded. I didn't do anything off screen, but I wanted to just, yeah, go a little bit in because I, only did a bunch of stuff that was not really so good for a video. So technically, what I did is I added one more hallway here for the villagers, and here I have a efficiency villager. Now I have all the enchantments that I wanted originally. And I've also done a lot of tree chopping, as you might notice from this one here. Actually, let me just check. I need to look at this. Times crafted 30,000 sticks. Yeah, that's about it. Times mined, acacia logs is the most mined. Yeah, that's the type of stuff that I was doing here. I was mostly just mining acacia. Occasionally I got a little bit of iron in, but mostly I was, taking down acacia to get the last protection book, 4 unbreaking books, and 4 efficiency books here. I still got a good amount of acacia logs left, but I don't have an acacia farm at my spawn anymore, so that's why I will take these with me. And as you can see, I can also, show it with a video proof. There was a wandering trader here. Actually, I guess he just despawned, so it should be around 5 or 10 minutes that he despawned now. But yeah, there was a wandering trader here selling me dark oak saplings, which did cost some extra emeralds, so I was even chopping trees for a little bit more. But yeah, we now have a resource for dark oak, which is another wood type, which is very good. So I'll just get all the books here and go to my spawn area and hopefully get a ton of the books also on my equipment. I'm not that sure. 36 levels doesn't sound like it will be enough to get all these books or all the enchantments on my equipment. I'll have to check. Okay, so the diamond shovel we got. Diamond axe will now also get efficiency. The pickaxe already has efficiency. Ooh, that makes it even more expensive. So my main ones are now held with efficiency, that's good. Now we have the unbreaking and the protection, and I'll guess the protection is the most important. Yeah, that's possible. And unbreaking will be 6 each. Okay. I guess I can work with that. Not right now, but I think over time we will get enough. By the way, also, before I went up there, there was another wandering trader, and I got pointed dripstone here now. It's 6 pointed dripstone, which is enough to start a dripstone farm. So this is also now a resource that is secured. And yeah, that's really cool. I think I can head over to my goal list again. Because while technically get diamond armor plus enchanted shield, technically I don't have the unbreaking on my diamond armor, but I guess I can remove that currently. But yeah, we now have the stuff here that I wanted to do, and especially if I now have an efficiency 5 shovel, being able to insta-mine, that will help a lot getting rid of the dirt here. And yeah, that's something that I want to tackle right now. So yeah, I guess for the first time in the series I can start up a time lapse with flashback and yeah, show you a little bit of terraforming, and then we can see what the result will be. So yeah, let's hit it. Whoa, that took a lot longer than I thought, especially because of all the packed mud bricks behind me. I mean, I planned on using them, of course, but I hardly underestimated how many packed mud bricks I actually would need, because each of them needs 1 wheat. And yeah, I pretty much underestimated how many I used. I mean, we can check in the statistics how many packed mud bricks I actually placed. 665, so some of them I placed double, so let's say it's about 10 stacks. And yeah, you might have seen me in the time lapse just almost panicking and placing more fields down in order to get all the wheat that I need. But yeah, the result looks very, very good, and I really like it. And I have to come clean with one thing, because I said I would start with using the flashback mod for time lapses, as you have noticed, because I'm coming out of a time lapse. But I not only have the flashback mod running now, I also have the FreeCam mod. I want to use the FreeCam mod not to go underground or something like that, and I also don't want to fly just into the border, because I could do that with FreeCam, but I don't want to do that. I just want to use it to give you guys a little bit more of an overview here, So whenever I needed, it's similar, I could also go into Flashback and make a screenshot of this view right now, but I think it comes a little bit more naturally if I want to show you something, so I can fly directly there, and I mostly will use it for the overview shots. And this view that you're seeing right now is very important, because that was one thing that I looked at in Flashback and I was like, I could totally see myself making more steps with packed mud bricks up the mountain. Maybe not totally up the mountain, but maybe until where this wall is, that I make more of these terraces up. And that would be really cool. I mean, I obviously could expand these to the sides. I could expand these to these sides over there. Not sure about that one, because somewhere over there I want to make a bridge. But yeah, that's actually something that I could do. However, I think I won't do that now, because I want to get a little bit more wheat before I start doing this. But yeah, I think it looks very, very good. I got some more ideas here, and ideas is a good point, because let me just get my book and quill. Actually, let's just rename it the goal list for now. Yeah, I know that's another level down the drain here, but I will get enough levels sooner. Okay, so we do have better entrance to the deep slate mine. That one is done. And another build idea now would be further terraces up the mountain. And one thing that I'm now thinking about is one small dock next to the starter house, because I was thinking about maybe making another field here, but then I was like, wait a second, I want to have my boats here, so I can maybe make a small boat dock, maybe some place where I could fish. I mean, I rarely use a fishing rod here, but I could totally see myself making a place for that regardless. And I think I could really make like a small dock here, a small docking area, maybe also something like a small workshop where you could imagine me building the boats there that I use. And yeah, that's one thing that I could imagine myself doing there. And I'm really excited about it, because there is a point in a Minecraft world where you just start, and well, for me personally, there's a when I start, I don't have these many ideas about a Minecraft world or what I want to do in a Minecraft world, but at some point more and more ideas on what I could do are coming in, and this point is really giving me the feeling that yes, this is a world where I can stay long term on. And yeah, I'm at this point right now, because I'm getting more ideas for the terraces, I'm getting more ideas for the dock here. I'm still lacking a little bit of ideas on how I want to make the pathway over to the village, but I think I can make something happen, and I'm really excited about it. So just let me sleep for a bit. And then there is one more thing that I can show you all, because I did unlock some more chunks, and that was deliberate. I did unlock some chunks specifically here in this corner, so that I can pass the island here on the south side. And with that I am actually able to row myself with the boat here through the whole river up to the dock where I can get over. So technically, for the most part, I don't need the land path here anymore. However, the donkey is still on one of these two spots here, so I want to rescue the donkey. And so I want to at some point make some bridges in order to get this guy over to either over to my base or to the village. I don't really know, actually. Maybe, well, or maybe I won't rescue him at all from there. Because I also could imagine myself making some sort of farm area or animal pen area over at the south of this hill. That's also something that I could make. But yeah, I now have a good method on coming here just by boat. I don't need to row with a boat over one river, then walk here and then use the second boat anymore. I just can use one boat and have it in, yeah, almost one trip. And that's really cool. So, what comes next? I'm not really sure about it. Because I just started recording and I was like, yeah, I don't know what I want to do, but I want to play a bit. So I'll see, maybe I'll cut up the side of the hill over there a little bit. Because that would be the next part. So let me get over there to show you. Because if we come up here, you might notice that we have a path that is going into this direction. And that's actually where I want to continue on, because I had the idea to maybe make the path somewhere in this direction over here. And then I maybe need to close this one off. Because I wanted... well, maybe... I'm actually not sure about it, because I was thinking about making a pathway over there and then making a bridge over there. But now that I see this one here, it looks to me that I could make a pretty good bridge over here. It would be a little bit wider as a bridge. It wouldn't be as close, but I think it's actually better because it looks kind of awkward how narrow this river gets randomly. So I could make a bridge here, and then I have the option later to maybe take out this small mound here so that the river is a little bit bigger. Might look a little bit better, so I actually don't think that I need to close this one off for now. I think I will close it off at some point, but for now it's good if I don't have to do it, because I am running pretty low on dirt. So maybe it's better if I don't need to close it off. And so I think I could make a pathway from here, make this part here a little bit more steep so that we have a little bit of flat space to pull the pathway over here and make a bridge over there. And thinking about it, I maybe could do the same, maybe could let the path split here and make a second path just beside the shoreline into this part, so that it connects again to the small area that I'm planning here. Not sure if I could pull that one off, because it might look not really good because it's already quite steep here. Not convinced about that one, but I think definitely the path over there will be one thing that I'm making. And I don't think that I have the time today to make the bridge as well, but I think I'll definitely include it into this episode, so it might be a time-lapse coming up after that one. But for now, let's just see what we can do to pull this path from there over to here, and yeah, whatever else is coming up in terms of maybe some resource gathering or some chunk unlocking, I'll let the post-commentary Tiger once again handle it. He had a good amount of breaks up to now in this episode, so yeah, he also may work as well on this episode. Yeah, so let's get going. Well, okay, I guess I can take over for one segment. I started off by building the pathway over the bridge. Since this path will be right next to one of the big cave entrances at Hillside, I decided to also close up said entrance. I also took the opportunity to mine some dirt from the cave that was now forming underneath the newly built hill. I really need a proper way to generate dirt soon. I'm running out of caves to mine from. The newly acquired dirt was then used to flatten out the terrain where the new pathway will be. Of course, I also took some more dirt from the upper part of the hill to cut my losses to a minimal point. On the now flattened out terrain, I made the pathway up to the spot where I planned to make the bridge later. I also checked if it was possible to make a second path below, like I mentioned before, but the lower terrain became too steep to actually do that, so it was not really possible anymore. After finishing the segment of the path, I went on resource duty since my wheat fields were almost fully grown. I got just below 6 stacks of wheat from the harvest, which is a pretty good amount for now. I guess these fields will be enough for a while. After the harvest, I quickly added some cobblestone slabs and stairs to the pathway so that I didn't need to jump on it anymore. With the pathway done up to the bridge spot, I decided to change things up and went for another session of opening more chunks. While gathering the resources for the first row, I quickly went up to my skeleton spawner to repair my tools. During the chunk opening, not much worth mentioning did happen, aside from one chunk requirement that popped up in the river to the north. 33 buckets of salmon. I did know beforehand that this was a thing in the river biomes. And no, you don't get the buckets back when the chunk is opened. That's why I was rushing to get to the village for an iron farm, because this can quickly deplete your resources. After this unlocking session, I quickly checked my progress. Only 4 rows of chunks were left for a smooth border to the north. I also noticed that I made the playing zone so big that now there was one spot in the middle where no more locked chunks were visible. This was a very nice personal achievement, and with that I decided to end this recording session for now. The next recording session I started by gathering some spruce wood. I only used the small trees to not generate any pot soul, since I didn't want to dig up and replace some part of the terrain. By the way, I don't really plan on using the spruce wood directly for building, it's more a method to make some details happen when building the bridge. And speaking about building the bridge, that's what I did next. I made a basic frame from stripped oak logs with also some vertical logs to be the support pillars into the water. And that's where the spruce comes into play, because I used the darker shade to simulate the wet parts of the pillars. I quickly realized that the basic frame would not really be enough, so I doubled up the horizontal parts with more oak. After finishing the frame, I laid out the floor of the bridge with spruce slabs on the lower part and an acacia topping that was secured by oak fences. At that moment I thought the bridge was fine for now, but seeing it again now in post-commentary, I might already have a couple ideas to improve it. With the bridge finished, it was time to check how sturdy it was, so I went out to fetch my donkey. It was about time that I released him from his solitary confinement on the island in the river. So, my dear fellow, do you like your new spot? It's a really nice spot. It's definitely closer here, and you will see me more often than you did over there at your lonely pole, where not even any villagers were there. So, I think it's better for you. By the way, guys, this fella over here still doesn't have a name. So if you want to give it a name, leave it in the comments. And yeah, of course, I will at some point give him also a proper stables. But before I can build the stables, I think I want to relocate all these animals over here. Oh, blue wool. Thank you. So, why do I want to relocate these animals again? So, just let me back up in FreeCam again and give you the view that I was giving you before, which was about this one. And I was saying something like I can see myself making more of these walls here and make the walls wider and make like a layered part here, and it is getting a thunderstorm, so let me quickly sleep. There we go. I just killed one spider on the other side of the river over there, but okay, I guess we're safe, so let me get back into this view. And yeah, I was saying like I want to increase the size of the walls here, pull them out further, and maybe add more layers up to the mountain. And with the pathway connecting at this point and going over to the village, and maybe after the village connecting to other points here in this world, it would make sense for me to have the stables for the donkey over here, as well as this pillar here, which marks the area roughly where the world spawn is. So it might also be a good idea to have a building here dedicated to the world spawn, maybe with a big map of the area. I think I would like that. But yeah, for both of these things, the animals would need to go, and I maybe could them push up the mountain if I want to make more layers over there. But I think rather it would be a better idea to, yeah, go over to the other side of the river here, because the chickens are already here, and if I close up this ravine here, then I would have a good amount of space. I mean, I could also go a little bit further into this area here to make maybe a farmhouse, maybe some barns, maybe a chicken coop, a proper one, and all the animal pens I could also do over here. And yeah, I think I could do that, and then there would also be the pathway over to the village. But for all that, I think I want to have a little bit more space over here, and that's why I also already removed all the trees here. The oak trees that I had here, I removed them, and I maybe will move the oak tree farm right around the corner here so that it's over in that area. And yeah, then I can cover up all these caves here. And that's what I want to do next. I want to cover up all these caves, and I will get over there despite the pillager raiding party. I think they hopefully won't give me a too bad time. Well, they will start to stare, yeah. Just ignore me, guys. Move on, move on. I don't want to have anything to do with you. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to cover up everything. And since I'm always lacking dirt for the chunk unlocks, it might be a good idea for now to just, yeah, cover up this part, and then all the grass and the dirt that is underneath here is, yeah, basically invisible, so I can also dig that up and make the caves a little bit bigger, so I can get a good amount of dirt out of these caves here. And I think I will get easily more dirt than I spent by covering everything up here. So it's a win-win situation for me. I have more building space for the next episode, and I also have a better amount of dirt for Chunklocks that also most likely will be in the next episode. And yeah, so I will start, and I might also need to explore some of these caves. And I also want to get rid of all the acacia trees behind me, and maybe the occasional pillager that is coming by. I don't know which pillagers I might be referring to right now. But yeah, anyways, I will give you a summary in the post commentary on what I do in which order, because I can't really decide on an order which I want to do first. So yeah, let's go. Well, I guess in this episode we have the special relationship with pillagers, so I kinda had to kindly tell them where my ever-expanding property lines are. After that, I first removed all the trees from the land between the two rivers. Then, I did something that had not happened that often in the series yet. I went caving. I figured that if I wanted to cover up all the caves below this place, I could also take the ores from there and light up the caves to avoid the annoying zombie noises in the future. Also, there was a ton of grass and dirt in these semi-open caves, so I used that to stock up again. After closing up all the caves and the ravine, I still ended up with a net plus of over 15 stacks of dirt. That would help me out for a while with the chunk unlocks. During all the time I had frequently visited the Blue Sheep to get some wool, so my shears did not look that nice anymore. Since I didn't want to spend 2 iron ingots to make new shears, I decided to instead spend over 40 emeralds in the village to get unbreaking and mending on my existing pair. Don't question it, I am that weird sometimes. On the way back from the village, I stopped by the row of locked chunks to the west. This was still the row with the one chunk that needed 24 blue banners, but now I almost had the wool for that, so it was now time to finally open it up. After that, I just mined the ores from the caving session earlier with my fortune pickaxe to see how much I actually got. Over 10 stacks of raw copper and 3 stacks of coal told me it was worth it. So that's about it for this episode. We did get really far, and if I just take my goal list again and if we look into what we have planned for episode 3, improve entrance to the mine, well, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's definitely an improvement compared to what we had before. So yeah, I think we can make a check mark to that. Make 2 terraces for farms and animal pens. That's what I did. And start the roadway to the village. That I did. Also with the bridge with the first one. And we did not really go further with the roadway to the village. But instead of that, we, yeah, made a good progress when it comes to the area to the left side of the bridge, where we now have closed off all the entrances, especially up to the tree farm and up to the mountain. There are some entrances still left that are open, and there is still a ton of dirt down there, but to be honest, in my opinion, it was just too much work to do for one episode, so I'll gladly do that in another episode. And yeah, for this part here we have a good amount of space, and we can soon start to build a nice, cozy animal ranch here. That would be nice. And yeah, that's about it. As you can see, we have done everything that I wanted to do for the episode. However, before I close it off, I thought I would like to make one more thing here. Because, as you might have seen in the summary just now, I did a lot of ore digging. Well, not really digging, but I broke up all the coal, all the copper ore, all the coal ore that I had, and that amasses to a really big amount, and I of course could now start smelting. But before I want to start to do the smelting, I would like to make a dedicated smelting area, because the one furnace here does not really cut it, and I won't go for a super smelter with like 10 plus furnaces in the furnace array. However, I want to make a small, yeah, let's say crafting deck here, where I just have a couple of furnaces here. Maybe I can somehow make it so that they have a little bit of a chimney, although I think I don't have access to bricks right now, so I might postpone the chimney part to a later date. But yeah, I'll just make a small platform here where I can just set up some furnaces, and then I can use these furnaces to smelt all the stuff that is currently still in the chest. So yeah, let me just quickly do that. So there we have the small deck of polished granite that I used here. And I want to make it like this. Just turn these down one more block, so that we can put the chests in here. Then we can do this. Then set up the furnaces here. Then these ones here. And I actually forgot one double chest. Okay, so this one. And now I also can use the barrels here, although I want to have the barrels the other way around. Yep. Okay. So this way I can do that. And then we can have 10 each in here. Okay, now we got 11 blocks of coal in each of the furnaces. And then I can put all the copper in here and some less copper along with all the iron in here. And this all will now smelt up. Not really fast, but it will be enough for the amount of items that I have, because I have the time. So I think there is one more thing that I can do. Yeah, why not? Okay, so what I want to do here is get up a little bit. Maybe I should take a couple of dirt blocks for scaffolding. Okay. So then this one. And then this one. Yeah. But it's actually not as good as I thought, so I need to revert this a little bit. And I need to revert these ones here. Yeah. Actually, I think it works. If I just do this. That can actually be enough. You don't always need to have a kind of a thick roof here. Yeah, I guess that's it. So, now we have a little bit of a small place where my furnaces are. As I said before, I might be able to make a proper chimney here on a later date. But for now, I think that's fine. I still have enough space here to make a small dock for the boats, and I think that's good as it is right now. Yeah, so with that being said, I guess that's it for this episode of Minecraft Chunklock. If you enjoyed it, I would really like if you left a thumbs up on the video, and also if you want to, I would really appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. And with that being said, have a very nice rest of the day whenever you're watching it. And yeah, thanks for watching, and see you hopefully in the next episode. Bye for now.